Guys, this is my custom Invincible. If you're here, you already saw my TikTok or either my YouTube short. Now, if you want to get, early access to customs I'm working on, go follow my TikTok down in the description or on my bio of my page. But today we're going to go into how I made this guy and why I made this guy. Let's dive right into it. I wanted to make this guy based off the massive hype of Invincible Customs, and I already got done doing an Invincible Custom on the hype. This one, it was a repaint and resculpt of my old SH Figure Arts Bodycoon Custom Invincible. Yeah, so the big massive hype of Invincible plus the immaculate, absolutely phenomenal fight scene between Conquest and Invincible episode 8. That final was finale. That was the best episode of the entire series in my opinion. But yeah, so off of that hype and off of me wanting to do a different level of customization, I wanted to make something kind of different. Because if you follow me for a long time, I made figures from scratch, like felt, wire, things like that, things of that nature. Kind of like this old custom Superman. I also made a custom Hush Batman in this design. Go check out those videos. But with those figures, it was always problems like paint application or either wire breaking down and losing articulation. So with that, I wanted to make something that could last longer, something I could repaint, and something maybe I could even replicate or basically replicate a little bit more, I guess, long term. Like even take this figure apart, mold it, and then repaint it, add new head sculpts, resculpt it, and then on and thereforth. Basically make a bunch of these guys, maybe even mass produce it, maybe even sell it if it's good enough. But yeah, so that's why I made this custom. And I already had this idea in my head for about 2 to 3 years now. And this spring break, I just had to put it in fruition. So let's just go over what you're going to need for this custom and what I use exactly for this custom. Let's dive into it. The paints you're going to need for this custom. Now, the apple barrel paint, I have a lot of it in bulk, and I want to use it all before I start buying and putting my money into better quality paints. Now, I will invest in a airbrush, but I don't have space for an airbrush. And I know airbrushes are a little bit messy, so I don't know for sure. But I will try to invest in an airbrush when I get into better customizing. But for now, I feel like this does the job for now, especially when you do it with a clear coat and make it durable enough so it doesn't really do too much paint rub. You know what I'm saying? I do get a little bit still a paint rub on this custom, but not as bad as my older customs I used no clear coat on. All painting and stuff, I might go over this figure or this custom later with a matte clear, super clear coat from, I think it's called super clear. So I might go over it with a super clear coat because the glossiness is cool, but I think I want to change it up and do a gloss or get rid of the glossiness of this custom later on. But now I feel like custom is good enough to do a review on this. Well, let's just dive back into what you're gonna actually need, like in terms of body types, figure parts, and stuff like that. Oh, it's a little pain in my back there. God dang! In terms of what you're gonna need for this custom, I will be painting pictures right here and talking over what I did and progress pictures. So let's dive right into it. Okay, though this is a little bit of a voiceover, and because there was some cleaning up in the background. But what you're gonna need for this figure is you're going to need a SH Figure Arts Bodycoon female figure. You're also going to need a SH Figure Art, no, a Figma Bodycoon male figure for the other joints. I did use a lot of pieces from the SH Figure Arts female body, so you're going to mainly need that figure. And you're going to want to buy each of both of those figures. So besides that, the other parts I did use Marvel Legends female leg body parts. Basically, I used the lower leg, like to the thigh down, Marvel Legends female body part, like legs. I think I got it from the 2-pack of the from the Netflix series Luke Cage. So that's where I got the Marvel Legends legs from. That one female figure, I can't remember her name, but she was in
Daredevil series and the Luke Cage series. So she was in both of those, and we got a figure of her. She wasn't really like a very critical character in my situation of like action figures. So yeah, but let's just show you a closer look of the figure in terms of the neck joint. The neck joint was a ball joint from a figure I can't remember. I think it was from the W13 action figures, the 3D printed ones, or either the 3-inch version of those ones. So the W13s or W10s, I don't know what they're called, but the shorter versions that have less detail than the dummy 13s. The hands, I use the hands from the uh the SH Figure Arts male bodycoon figure. I use the hands from that figure, and if you know all the accessories from that figure, I just used and repainted the accessories for that figure for this figure in terms of the hand accessory and the phone accessory. So that's what I used. But I hope editing me will show pictures and try to visually show you. But yeah, that's what I used. Now the whole pelvis joint right here, I sculpted that at all, but I used the, I guess, plastic cover up piece from the Figma Bodycoon blank male body, cut it down for the scale of this figure, and sculpted over it with clay, tinfoil, and other things like that. I hollowed it out after I sculpted everything over because I had hot glue and tinfoil. Basically, hollowed it all out after sculpting everything, and I think I did pretty good. Now, this is me, past me, talking about the whole Marvel legs, the Marvel Legend female body legs. Any older female Marvel Legend legs, Marvel Legends female body figures are really cheap on the aftermarket for some reason. I don't know. But yeah, so I'm probably definitely gonna be buying more of those figures or the female figures. Just I don't even care if they're broken up, just as long as the legs are intact. I'm probably gonna buy more of those guys so I can work on basically that level, like just resculpting, probably like pretty much perfecting this figure and its design. No, I really do want to work on different on different Image Comics characters, work on different sculptings and designs for different body types, like work on figures like Hellboy, Conquest, The Max, and bigger figures, very complex figure designs like that. Now I am going to show you basically the part I used to cover up this nasty ass articulation right here in this mid joint. So I should show it in like a few minutes. How slow am I?
Nasty joints, I used this, and it worked really good. Now, some of it's still a little unpainted inside, but this is just a demo, a prototype. So when I do eventually, or maybe one day, mold it or basically recreate this figure, then mold that figure before I start painting it, and boom, shakalaka,
Who is this corny ass
make
nigga?
it better. Now, obviously, I will probably be remaking this guy. It's some parts of this figure I wish I did better at, like giving it a thigh swivel, a bicep swivel, and a calf swivel, giving it a lot more articulation that way. But overall, I felt like the figure came out really good. I'm next to my old custom Superman, and I feel like I've changed a lot. I got a lot better with my customs. What else? Put next to my custom Invincible, because it's not going to be too much size scaling. He obviously is around 4 inches tall, around that height. So this is him with my other custom Invincible. Now I'll put him next to the Hiya Toys Injustice Batman. He's obviously taller, because this figure is supposed to be like a really, really, really small scale type of figure. Yeah, so it's not really a lot of pretty much size comparisons I'm going to do with this guy, since he's in his own league of scaling and he's his own custom figure. But let me pull out a ruler so you guys can really know how tall he is. He's around 4.5 inches tall with hair. Yeah, around 4.5 inches tall, almost 5 inches tall, almost 5 inches. But I think he's around 4.5 inches tall. I love this figure. So that, I feel like it came together very nicely. The painting, there's not too much paint rub, but I do in the future want to add a lot more accessories with this guy, since he is able to be taken apart in terms of like the body. So I am thinking about resculpting another torso piece and like battle damaging that. Ooh, a little paint rub there. Ooh, little paint rub there too. Ooh, But I am going to be fixing this paint rub and trying to get better with paint rub in general, and try to get a better clear coat so I can avoid my paint getting damaged and stuff like that. So yeah, but overall, I felt the custom came together very nicely, and yeah. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and as always, guys, have a blessed day. Deuces, and as always, be in